Do you remember being in your 20s? Life was so much easier. You had purpose, you had direction. You may have been a broke-ass mofo, but that didn't matter because you had a mission. Maybe it was working on your career, maybe it was making more money, or maybe it was just getting laid for the night. But life was easier. You had a social life, you had a sharp tongue, and you took risks. Then you get married and you give your wife a diamond ring, the most expensive piece of jewelry in your family. You literally give her the family jewel, and the name says it all, a diamond. Fucking diamond. From that moment, you started focusing on keeping the peace, and you confused the difference between giving her what she wants versus what she needs. You gave more and more, but the more you gave, the more unhappy she became, and soon, making her happy was all consuming. But the worst part is that now she's either leaving or she left your ass. But she continues to live right here, in your mind. You're giving away free real estate. Now you're older, you're tired, balder, put on a few extra pounds, and you look like you just don't give a shit. You become so safe that you convince yourself that being a bad boy is the few seconds of adrenaline that you get when you exchange glances from another woman at the supermarket. She looks at you, you look at her, and you turn away. You take that look as a win when in reality it's not a win by any means. It's you punking out of an opportunity to take that risk and introduce yourself. You took the safe route, the predictable one, the pussy one. The man you used to be, that guy in his 20s, he would have taken that as a fucking dare, but not you. The man that you become, he takes that glance as proof that you still have it without taking the risk of going up to her and introducing yourself. But you go home and perhaps tell a friend about the hot girl who you saw at the store checking you out. Why? Why didn't you go up to her and speak? You were so scared of rejection that you settled for a story without an end, a cliffhanger. Really? Why did you punk out as though it was weird to tell somebody that you like them, that you're attracted to them? You just go up to them and say, hey, you're easy on the eyes. What's wrong with that? It's human. You're human. You bleed red, you get erections, jerk off to Pornhub, but you can't go up to a girl and tell them that they caught your eye? It makes no sense. Your edge is a combination of confidence, presence, and unpredictability. It's a girl saying, I don't know, but there's something about him. It's her taking a risk on doing something that she hasn't done in a while because you're giving her permission to be herself and to do it alone with you. Edge is controlling the frame. It's looking at her in the eyes to the point that she has to look the other way because you see that she's vulnerable. It's the tension of masculine energy that says that you know what you're doing, even if she doesn't. But she trusts you because she's daring herself to feel something that she hasn't felt in a very long time. She's accepting that you have your shit together. But it's the frog in the lukewarm kind of thing because it fades. And when it fades slowly. It begins with safe decisions that look responsible on the surface but gutless in the mirror. You stop taking risks, you stop trying. You become so timid that you half-ass life. Safe is what made your ex lose her respect for you. Is that the man you want to become? There are things that you can change and those that you can't. And as a newly single guy, you're no longer trained in the warfare of seduction. That was a chapter in your life that you probably never wanted again to visit. Then that's to my point because you still need to keep your sex appeal, your edge, especially to that person that deserves it the most. But let's face it, you married for the free sex so that you wouldn't have to try so hard. So now, you're about as dangerous as the 40-year-old virgin, putting that pussy on a pedestal. The twist in all this is that in order to gain your balls back, you have to go all balls, meaning that there's no fucking way that you can be dangerous without breaking a few eggs. You can't play it careful when you're trying to be dangerous. Think about it. You're trying to get your edge by playing it safe. It doesn't work like that. Just like trying to get in shape while sitting on the fucking couch. That's just wishful thinking. You want your edge? You gotta be quick on your feet, witty, daring, and say exactly what you're feeling while staying on point and do it all in a way that you're admired and even liked. But it's not as hard as it sounds if you let it. And tell me this hasn't happened to you. It's happened to all of us. Here's the scenario. You're at the local supermarket and a woman, she gives you that look. You know the one, he seems interesting. Yeah, that look. You think to yourself, fuck man, she's hot. I'm gonna go up to her. Should I go up to her? What do I say? What if she smells my nervousness? Shit, she just saw me staring at her. Now she thinks I'm scared. Too scared. You just did what most guys end up doing. They overthink shit and they punk out. The biggest turn on is your honesty and perhaps using that nervous tension to your advantage. Just walk up to her and say, you know, I think you look very pretty today. How you? I've been watching you. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. The way you carry yourself is like someone that if I didn't come up and say hi, I'd go home with a huge regret, thinking of this opportunity missed. What's the worst that can happen? Maybe you get ignored. Is that it? But if you're direct and use eye contact, you'll be way too purposeful to get ignored. Instead, the worst that can happen is she says thank you and she smiles and that's it. Either way, you paid her a compliment. You led with purpose and that's something to feel good about because you gained some balls and you went up to a stranger and told her that you found her attractive. Feel good about that. But at the most, who knows? Maybe you just met your next future ex-wife. Sooner or later, the day's gonna come when you realize that you spent way too much fucking time caring about what others think. That gets exhausting, having your wife always correcting you, watching over you as though you're some 6-year-old, telling you what you should and shouldn't say, what to do versus what not to do, always pointing your mistakes because she has a knack for suffocating your spirit. Where's the respect here? You're going through a divorce because you lost yourself fighting for someone that didn't deserve your fight. But because it is you 2.0, you're not fucking around here, and your ex, she's not here to make you feel stupid. It was a constant reminder of what you can't get anything right. So you find the freedom to speak your mind with your own voice, and when you do, mark my words, fellas, your testicles, they're gonna drop right into your nutsack, and that testosterone enters your veins, and you realize that you've grown and you developed into a man. You're single now, behave like it. You no longer have to fight against your wants or your desires, because just like the Declaration of Independence says, you have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You want presents? Lose that nice guy image. Drop him. He was taken advantage of anyways. And it's very difficult to have presence as a nice guy because no one's gonna take you seriously. But the second you realize your worth, speak your mind, and start saying no, everything, it shifts, and people start to notice. Even your ex, she notices it, but by then, you've already outgrown her, and you won't give a shit about what she says. Who knows, maybe you'll even begin telling her what she's doing wrong, because the tides have turned. Because now you look at people in the eyes without flinching. You speak and you're listened to, and when you're heard, people around you, they start second-guessing their own confidence. They start thinking shit like, why didn't I think of that? You know why? Because you make sense. Because you're sharper, faster, and more present. Because you develop into that man that's not afraid to live. Because it's you 2.0. Point is that you started saying no and you're speaking your minds. Now what I say next is what I did in helping me speak my own mind and gain my own edge. What worked for me, how I did it, and I hope it helps. You know, when I was in my 20s, I attended medical school, and one of the requirements was a full year of behavioral sciences. Behavioral science is the fancy way of saying that we study why people do what they do. The smart stuff, the stupid shit, and the stuff that seems weird until you realize that it's actually human nature. It's the science of instincts, habits, reactions, shit we humans are too afraid to ask because we're under the wrong impression that nobody else feels the same way. Things like women on women's sex, men on men's sex, couples being swingers, women liking kinky sex through role-playing, or even how some men like their finger up their ass. Here I was in my mid-20s thinking that masturbation made me a bad person. I don't even enjoy strip clubs. So compared to the shit that I heard, I was very much vanilla. We, and by we I mean you included, you're a lot more normal than you think. We're just too ashamed to ask for fear of judgment. So we shame others into thinking that they're freaks. And these are the people, the ones that point the fingers, that are the biggest hypocrites. People like Jed Verhoover that called homosexuality perversion when he himself was gay. Or people like my ex, the biggest cheater that I've ever been with, and I didn't even know it because she accused me regularly of cheating on her. We were too busy playing defense to recognize that they're the real enemies. So when I got single, I had a lot of catching up to do. You have a lot of catching up to do. Begin by taking inventory on your human behavior knowledge and applying it. Me, I was also older and wiser. So I accepted myself a lot more and gave myself permission. I took comfort in the fact that in today's dating world, if circumstances were right, that more than 50% of women are comfortable having sex on the first date. Knowing that you're normal should give yourself permission to be yourself because chances are rather strong that you're in the 90% of the population. I mean, what's wrong with you going up to a girl and telling her that she's easy on the eyes? What's wrong with that? She needs to hear it anyways, and I'm sure that it made her feel good hearing it. What's wrong with trying to get laid on the first date? Why pretend not to want sex at all? I mean, it just makes no sense. You're out on a date, and to play it safe, you're not only boring, but guess what? A date's exactly the place where you want to get laid, or trying to anyways. So don't apologize for wanting the needs of the flesh is what I'm saying. And the sooner that you realize that, the faster that you can come to terms that you're just human. Nothing wrong with that. You're human. But it wasn't only about sex. It's about the lifestyle, living, giving of yourself, and giving yourself permission to live life without having to reach out and ask for approval. Give yourself the approval. Don't second guess yourself. You overthink things, you're going to not do it. It's about liking to win so much more than hating to lose. To gain your edge by taking advantage of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity of being motherfucking single man. I did. Why can't you? Why? Seriously, why can't you? What's stopping you? You think if you swing and miss, people will remember? I hate to say it, but you're overestimating your importance. You're not that special. I'm not that special. We think and overestimate how much people pay attention to us when they really don't give two fucks about us. Now, that's a coach. For instance, seriously, how much did it bother you that I changed so many times throughout this video? Did you even notice that I changed? I'm not that special to actually think that you care to that point. This is your opportunity in your own social experiment to see what the fuck you get away with when you have no limitations. To learn about your wants, your needs, your desires, your new accomplishment, and fit them into your new lifestyle. I guess the best way to put it is that I trusted my instinct by realizing that I don't fit the uncanny valley of sexual desires and or life. So why not? Why not give in to my instincts? You should do the same. It would be unfair of you to try to live another way. Guess you could say by playing it safe, you don't trust yourself enough on your instincts. You're here for a reason, to validate your instincts. To know it's okay to try and not succeed. To love to win so much that you're not afraid to lose. To live according to your rules and never, never ever judge someone just because they're trying to do something new. Gentlemen, if this video felt like a drop of testosterone, take action. Show it. Drop a comment and make it bold. Make it count. And join our Facebook group. And listen, this is your one shot to make this right. To take your balls back in. That shot's right now. You owe it to yourself to schedule a free consult. Not tomorrow, not next month, but now. Not when things settle down. Now. Don't bitch out. Seriously, you're too fucking good for that. Your ass just went through a wrecking ball of a chapter, and trying to just wing it from here on out is how you're gonna get stuck for years. You need guidance, you need clarity, and you need someone in your corner making sure that mistakes of your past don't haunt your future. And if there's ever been a day to make your move, it's today. So here's what you do. Like this video, subscribe, comment, and then hit that link in the comment section. Schedule a consult and let's get your ass thriving so much that the man 6 months from now is gonna kick the shit out of the man you are today. Men's divorce coaching. Let's go. You know, I think you're looking very pretty there. Yes, you. I've been watching you. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Don't. Definitely don't.